Happy Monday, everybody. It is Dr. Cardinal here, and I have been getting a lot of messages from patients and friends regarding low back pain, especially with how much we're all at home right now. So we have to remember that our bodies are meant to be dynamic. We're meant to move. We're meant to flex and extend and bend and react to things around us. And a lot of people experience back pain in the morning when they first get out of bed, and we think about why that is. So in our spine, we have vertebra and discs, and people often think that it's pretty simple. That's just our back, it's there, that's how it is, and every once in a while we blow out a disc, right? Or slip a disc. Well, discs don't slip. Discs are actually a composite of a jelly-like fluid that is surrounded by a fibrous membrane. And so because of that, discs have a very interesting quality. When we are static for an extended period of time, our discs will fill with fluid. And when we move, it helps kind of push that fluid out and create changes in the pressure of the disc that brings fluid in, pushes fluid out, brings fluid in, pushes fluid out. And that's how our discs stay healthy and get more nutrients and whatnot. So in the morning, when you first get out of bed, sometimes you've been laying in bed, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, I don't know how long you sleep, but you haven't been doing anything that creates pressure on that disc. And so when we first get up in the morning, we're oftentimes very stiff because our discs are hyper filled with fluid. And so when we first get up, we're stiff, we move around, we feel better because that fluid slowly creeps out. But if we get up in the morning and we're really stiff and we immediately go to stretch, a lot of times it's painful because now we've got a really full disc, and that creates a different position of the joint. And so when we go to stretch, we put a lot of pressure on that nerve, we put a lot of extra pressure in the facet joint, which is right here, and our brain interprets that as something that is not good and creates low back spasm, psoas spasm, which is an anterior muscle that stabilizes the spine, and then we start getting that really achy pain, locks up the low back, locks up the joints, and then we get sciatica, we get things like that. So here's some tips if you feel like you're really stiff right now to kind of get through the day. So number one, first thing in the morning, get up and walk around. 10-minute walk, make sure you're moving well, getting a lot of motion, nothing that is in the range of pain. Number two, take a shower. That hot water is going to help kind of loosen up the muscles. It's going to help you feel like you can move. And then after that, do some very light movement. I recommend doing some cat camels or cat cows, whichever you like to call it, and then what's called 90-90 hip lift. So I'll show you both of those things. But in addition to that, before I get down on the ground, I just want to remind you, move. If you don't do anything else, move. The average person, when they're sleeping, changes sleeping positions 1 time every hour. The average person that's binge watching all of The Office, Tiger King, and anything else they can on Netflix right now because of the quarantine is probably not changing positions for at least 3 or 4 hours. So for every hour that you are in one position, try and move for 15 minutes. It's not that hard. 45 minutes of doing whatever you want. Get up and move for 15 minutes. Take your dog out, do what you got to do, but make sure you keep moving. This has interrupted your gym routine. This has interrupted your dietary routine. Don't let it create low back pain that you don't need. If you're not moving, your body will find a reason to be in pain. Stiffness is treated like an injury. Your body's going to guard against it. It's going to make you more stiff. You're going to have more pain. You're going to move less. That's not the answer. If you do not have an actual injury, don't let your body think you do. Move, 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 eat well and hydrate. So now to the things that you can do in the morning to kind of help your back feel a little better. So easy enough. Number one, cat cow. So we're going to get down. We're going to be knees under our hips, arms under our shoulders. We're going to drop it down, lift our head, bring it up, drop our head. And you're just going to find that this naturally kind of helps you find a rhythmic breathing. It helps expand and contract your diaphragm, but it also gets movement into the discs that is within a comfortable range of motion. After we've done about 2 minutes of that, then I want to start doing some barrels. So we're going to go around, down, around, and down. So 2 minutes of straight and 2 minutes of barrels. So what we're doing is we're getting motion through all of the articulation of the joint. We're getting all of that disc to kind of have some compression and some decompression, and we're getting the excess fluid that we don't need out in a way that does not irritate our nerves, does not irritate our joint capsules, and it tells our brain this movement's okay. So for the next one, if you have a yoga block or if you have a foam roller, that's great. If not, it's okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get in a laying down position where our legs are at 90 degrees to the wall. So 90 degrees there. I'm going to take the yoga block, put it between my knees, squeeze it. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to use our posterior chain, so our glutes and hamstrings, to then lift, so just enough to get my belt off the ground, our pelvis. I'm not trying to do a sit-up, I'm not trying to use my abs. I want to let my low back stay relaxed, and I want to decompress by pulling the pelvis down and away and letting the lumbar spine just stretch out. So it looks like this. So heels in the wall, pull, nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out, and then set back down. You can do 4 or 5 rounds of 5 to 6 breaths, and you would just feel that light movement is oftentimes very, very, very beneficial for the low back. Our back likes to move, our nerves don't like to be stuck. Try it out and let me know how you feel.